Ken Honda, you are the person that I think most people will look towards when they think anything with money. So I'm curious to start is what were some of the early memories that shaped your relationship with money?
Yeah, thank you, James, and thank you for inviting me to your show. I'm so happy and honored to be on your show. I'm Japanese, and I was born and brought up in a town called Kobe. So one of the first memories is that I there is a nice, fun, small shopping store mall near my house, and I think I have 100 yen, like $1 in my. It's a coin in my hand, and then I went to nearest like a sugar candy kind of store, and I bought something, and then I just kind of handed my precious, little thing, and then I got something like a cotton candy, and I was so proud. I feel like I became like a grown up already. And I think probably I was like 5 or 6 at the time. So that exchange made me so happy. I think that is the root of my happy money experience in my life.
Wow, at 6 years old, I heard you say once that by 10 years old, you pretty much knew everything about money because your father was an accountant and your relationship with money seemed to be really massively shaped by your father. Would you say, like, how was your relationship with money shaped by your father?
So my father always treated money like a grenade that the pin is almost off. So you have to be very careful. It could give you explosive power for business, so your business can grow fast. At the same time, it could blow up your entire family. So I kind of knew that money has a magical power on people because I've seen like adults, grown-ups, suffer from money-related stress. They seem to be so happy when they have more. So by the age like 9 or 10, you kind of know money works wonders in both ways on people's lives. So I was very curious, and I sort of knew I'd be wealthy in the future
Why do you feel you had a knowing that you would be wealthy?
because it seems like there's no other choice. If you just learn about money, do the right thing, I'll be wealthy. So my question is like, would I end up super wealthy, medium wealthy, and a little wealthy? I'm sort of in the middle, So, and as I grew up, I kind of learned to be super successful like Elon Musk and Bill Gates. You have to take a break off of your car, because those guys don't have a brake in their car, And then, risk taking, a risk sensing sensor must be turned off. Those guys cannot sense the risks. They go for it anyway. And when there's an obstacle, they either go right or left. They don't have a notion to stop or pause, right? So now I realize I don't have what it takes to be a billionaire, but it was all right. I ended up being a happy millionaire, and then I don't have to be a billionaire. I have enough time, so I don't need a private jet to go from one place to the other. I can enjoy chatting with people. I can enjoy, doing something on my computer while I wait. That is also another creative time for me. So I created a lifestyle that is just perfect for me.
Yeah, you have what they don't have, and that's enough, right? Like they don't have the ability to stop, it seems. And I think a lot of
Yes.
billionaires aren't happy.
Yeah, yeah. So I know how to feel satisfaction and happiness with wherever I am. So even though I lose everything, I know I can still smile. I can be smiling because wealth is not just only visible assets; they're invisible assets as well.
Mhm.
So if you have both, you don't worry about losing one thing. So as long as you know you have a strong root, strong foundation, even if you lose the visible asset, you can build it over. So and also I understand about how the society works. So one thing, the reason why I'm not afraid of losing it all is that I can get it back very easily, and then I know my friends will make sure that I will not fall. They'll catch me if I just fall. So I have 100% trust that they'll support me. So if I lost everything, I'd call up my friends like, "Hey, can you help me? Can I stay with you for 1 week?" And then I go around with my friends for 50 weeks and come back to my friend number one after a year. Can I stay with you another week? It's been a year. So I'm financially independent no matter what. So that's why I'm not afraid of lawsuits or bankruptcy or whatever, because visible money is just part of my true wealth.
Yeah, I want to jump into that experiment that you did. I want to say it was earlier in your life. I think 2019, maybe it was. I could be wrong, but you did
Hmm.
an experiment where you did that in America. But what I find is that the invisible things in life are often the things that are the most valuable, like friendship, faith, whatever that may be. Those are the things that really matter at the end of the day. But why is it that we don't bring enough emphasis on those? But we look at the things that maybe have a metric. We always want to see things going up. That's why people care so much about money. But that's never really going to bring us the deep happiness that we're looking for. So why do you think people focus on the visible happiness more than they do on the invisible?
I think people cannot see. One of my blind friends said, I see things that other people don't see.
Mm,
So it's almost like we are blind to something so important. We all have friends who just go after the money, and they tend to overlook what they have in their hands.
mm,
Even they have a beautiful family, they are too busy with work. I was so happy to retire for 4 years for my baby girl, and that 4 years is something that I'll never trade for anything, because I knew how precious it is. I asked people in their 40s and 50s and 60s, what do you regret most about child raising? And they all said one thing in common: I wish I spent more time.
mhm.
So that's what I did. So because I could see things that other people don't see, they're so busy uh, working in the hope of trying to bring food on the table, which is important. But we are so hooked up with this doing more, having more, spending more type of cycle. And I think we're in a trance, actually. We're truly in a trance of just doing that. We have to do more. It's because we're under funny trance, like when you drink or on drugs, you kind of like don't know what you're doing. All of us human beings are doing it. I think we're going to wake up pretty soon, once everything, all the values drop. A lot of real estate owners, investors, they're in a trance. They're on high. They borrow money, they invest money, they grow. That's not a happy attitude toward money. So those people are going to collapse. I've seen it so many times over 3 decades of my career, that I have seen the ups and downs of people. The people who try to leverage money will end up losing everything, because they start take uh, real estate investor. They start buying one home, two homes, 10 homes, and then a big apartment, and then a high rise. In the process of just borrowing money, leveraging themselves, something goes wrong, because look at the commercial real estate in America, China, and Europe. Uh, there's a lot of vacancy. People don't work in commercial buildings anymore. They rather sit down in their home office and just do something. So the like in New York, I read the statistics, the numbers that in the Trump Tower, the vacancy rate is like more than 20%. So even if it's a nice real estate buildings, if the empty rate is more than 20 or 25, you lose money. So a lot of people are going to start losing money, and then boom, what was I doing, for the past 10 years, 20 years? Just leveraging myself without doing anything. I haven't helped a single person in my life. They're just enjoying numbers. And then they'll wake up suddenly one night after losing everything. And then hopefully they read my books. And then like, wow, like I just completely forgot about money EQ part, emotional intelligence. So, but right now we are in a trance. As long as prices of stocks and real estate are high, they can see things that are very important to their life.
Yeah, I heard Will Smith talk about something recently where there's rock bottom and then there's a cliff high or something in that realm where when you get to the top and then you've achieved everything that you could possibly achieve, you have all the money to spend on anything that you want to spend it on, you realize that that doesn't make you happy either. And
Mm-hmm.
it's funny that you say we're in a trance because in America it says that inflation's rising so much, but then everything else is rising as well, like you say, stocks and investments and real estate. But why is it that it has to get so bad that things get so bad that we're forced to make a positive change? It seems like in every area of our life, whether it's finances or relationships or habits, like we get to the point where things get so bad where we're forced to make a positive change. So what is that moment that you think things will change?
I think it's human nature. Look at the history of bubble. Since the tulip bubble in Holland, just a little tulip is used to cost like in our currency now, it's like $1 million. When you hear like this little tulip costs like $1 million, people laugh at it, right? But people at the time were buying it. They went crazy. They borrow money. They just borrow everything, and then started buying this tulip, seeds and then roots. So why? Because we are so brainwashed that more is better. Having money is the best thing in the world. So, but it's interesting, in different cultures, we have different taboos, and also we have different tendency. If like European people or like Japanese go to America, we get shocked. Like people think in terms of money, numbers. The more money they make, the better. Like why? So probably like it's a cultural thing too. So if you're in America, there are certain things you cannot see. If you're in Europe, you cannot see certain things, and if you're in Japan only, you cannot see certain things. That's why I recommend young people to go around the world, and the culture you're born and brought up with is not necessarily the best. So now I see a good side of Japan, a good side of US, good side of Europe and Africa and Arabic countries. I respect all the cultures now. And also you get to choose what's your way, you know. But a lot of people, young people now try to go against what's going on. So they turn their back to money. So either they become hippie, Generation Z. Some of them, they become complete hippies. I don't need money, and then that's also like not a happy way, because whatever we do, uh, it costs something, and the prices are going up high. So you have to learn to have the right distance with money. Either you're too close, you're too far. So right distance is different to each individual. So how, do you have a good distance, or you're too far or too close? When you think of money all the time, the money is this close. It's just blinding you. But if you don't think of money all the time, then money is too far away. So you need to have the right comfortable distance for you.
Yeah, it's a mentor of mine a few years ago told me that like if you hold on to money like it's a closed fist, you're not open to receiving it, and it's going to be
Mm-hmm.
really hard to make money if your wrist is or your fist is so closed to the money that's trying to come in if you're holding on to what you have. So when you talk about being money too far away, too close, I kind of see it as like spending versus saving. What do you
Mm-hmm.
feel is that good balance? How can we find that?
Yeah, so I was in more this guy, right, in my 20s.
Oh
I
yeah.
started my business when I was 2021, and then achieved financial independence in 8 years.
Hmm.
So that was fast. So I didn't spend money. I just saved up the money and started investing in things. But in retrospect, I didn't have to hurry up so much. I could become a millionaire at age 35 or 40. But I wanted to make it in my 20s. So I think I could have enjoyed the process more. So I'd advise people take a longer time. No, don't try to go quick, because quick money comes very fast and goes out very fast. And so you have to build wealth slowly and also steadily. One of my mentors is called Wahei Takeda,
Hmm.
who is Warren Buffett of Japan. He was an investor. But how did he become successful to begin with? He sold cookies for babies. So by just selling cookies, he made so much money. But a cookie costs only like 20 cents per package. So he makes like 1 cent off of one cookie. So how can he become so wealthy? He sells millions of packs. And then if you want to be wealthy, a lot of people try to go shortcut, easy way, fast way. If I make a sales, if I flip my house or something, then I make this kind of money. But that is a fast money. Fast money comes in fast, goes out fast. So you have to really take time to build wealth. Otherwise, quick wealth is like almost like building a sandcastle by the sea. You get washed away.
Yeah, that's a great analogy. Like you said, it was really quick for you in your 20s. Other than saving and investing, what are some things that people can do to, of course, we don't want it to be fast money, but I guess accelerate their process of accumulating wealth in general so they have that security?
Yeah. So I teach money IQ and money EQ.
Hmm.
So money IQ has four principles. First is earn, and the second is spend well, and then the third is protect, and fourth is grow. So the first most important thing is to earn more money. You know, money. When I've counseled so many people, hundreds of thousands of people myself personally, and I just came to a conclusion. There are only too many problems. You are making too little or
Hmm.
spending too much.
Right. Yep.
So you
Yep.
have to make more money. How? By making more people smile. If you just make a lot of people smile, they come to say thank you as a result of helping them in some ways. You can help them in business. You can help them emotionally. Whatever the impact that you do. I sold almost 9 million copies of my books. So every time I made somebody smile by just by reading my stuff, they put $1 or $2 into a jar. So think about it. I'm a musician, and then uh, people love my songs. So whoever liked my songs just put $1 or two, and then there's a long line of people. So my books are selling about 1,000 to 2,000 copies a day, somewhere in the world. Now selling more in Europe and America. So what's happening is that as a result of working hard 10, 11 years ago, that energy becomes an angel to help people. So I'm helping about 10,000 people every day, or maybe more, because my YouTubes have been viewed for 100 million times. That means that I'm helping 100 million people. And the result, I'm usually getting about 500,000 book sales. So I used to sell 10% of what it is now. So by impacting more people, by selling your services and goods, you make more money.
Hmm.
So if you want to be wealthy faster, be be the impact, help more people. As a result, you receive a lot of happy money.
Yeah, and there's a big distinction between happy money and unhappy money. I think it's really valuable, and I love that perspective as well because again, it goes back to what I said earlier. It's like it doesn't matter how much money you're making. If you're making it in a wrong way, you're not going to feel good about yourself. Do you mind just like breaking down that distinction?
hmm Yeah, happy money is money that makes you smile when you receive it and spend it. Unhappy money gives you a squeezed feeling and then feels the same way when you spend it. So a lot of us are in this unhappy feelings, even though we make a lot of money. We feel squeezed. It doesn't really matter if you're making $2,000 or $20 million a month. People still feel the funny stress. It's because money itself, by itself, is neutral, but we are just putting weird energy, by becoming a fighter, like a boxing. A lot of entrepreneurs are just playing business game like a boxing, or like a karate, a championship. And then as a result of winning, they just grab money and then run. So think of a drug dealer just try to make a sale and then just get the money. So that money has a lot of violent energy, a lot of desperation, a lot of frustration, anger with it. That's why like uh, people who are dealing with drugs, they're getting involved in violent crimes and stuff.
Mhm.
Think about it. What are the odds of just selling baby cookies and get shot? This is like 30 cents. Okay, give it to me. And then I'll give you $2, right? So, because the money doesn't have that, like it's $200 or $500. So the fast and quick money tends to have violent energy. So, you know, um, if you just build wealth very slowly, it's a quiet, peaceful money. That's why it stays. So think of what kind of money is circulating in your life. If you come home feeling so joyful, feeling so thankful, appreciative as a result of making somebody happy today, and then you can bring in happy energy to your family, and then have a nice meal with beautiful people. But if your day is full of frustration and anger and resentment, you bring in that energy and you get upset with your wife or husband and kids, and you're kind of like, feeling energy.
Mhm.
So even though you can relax at home, you cannot let it out. That's why people drink and go on drugs. They try to go onto another trance. So they come home from a business trance and then go into another high, which is not a happy, healthy way of living. So you have to really make sure happy energy flows in your family. You're responsible. What kind of energy is flowing in your house? It can be happy, smiling, laughing, singing energy in your house. So remember, think back your childhood. Was there lots of happy energy in the house, or was there a lot of frustration, anger, resentment, fights? So, as a result, as an adult, we can choose. We can be responsible. What kind of air you can have in your house, and you are creating it. So you can pollute. So, for example, are you polluting the air in the house, or are you like a air purifier cleansing the air? So
Mhm.
it's your energy.
Yeah, I think it's unfortunate that many people grow up with the negative energy around money, right? Like people that are wealthy or evil, or you have to work hard to make money,
hmm
and so many other beliefs that just don't serve people that want to become wealthy at the end of the day. So I know that your father was, very successful, but for people that maybe grew up in an area of full on scarcity, how can they let go of those beliefs and kind of change their beliefs in relationship with money?
Yeah, so people who are struggling right now, they feel
Hmm.
suffocating, literally. So because they cannot breathe.
Hmm.
So think about it. Scarcity is like you feel like I can't breathe, type of situation. So just relax, and then you can breathe in as much as you want and breathe out as much as you want. Uh, for a lot of people, money is like frozen ice. You want to hold on to it, but you get frozen bites.
Yeah.
And if you're living in a better environment, warmer environment, money becomes water. So it flows in your life, flows in in your companies, and then you need management. Unless you have you make sure that the right energy right amount of money flows.
Mhm.
If it's too much money, like you inherit money, and it becomes a flood. It just washes away your family. But if it's too small flow, and then it becomes a drought, which is not also fun. You have no money, so you struggle, right? You struggle to pay the rent or pay the bills. That's not fun either. So when you become financially independent, both physically and also emotionally, money becomes air. I don't think about money anymore. And because, I don't even know how much I'm making, to be exactly every day. Like at the end of like certain day to file taxes. Oh, I didn't know I made that much money. So I don't feel, I don't feel the need to check how much I have,
Mhm.
and then it's okay because I earn or I receive enough money, more money than I spend. So every month I have a huge surplus. I just sometimes share, I give, and I invest. But I'm not so preoccupied about the numbers. I don't feel the need to leverage my money because I have enough. So once you become where you are financially that way, money becomes air. You can breathe in as much as you want, breathe out as much as you want, and your neighbors will not be complaining, like don't sniff my air. It's like your air is there,
Mhm.
so because air is abundant, unless you're stuck in an elevator or something, you have enough air. So just relax. Money flows everywhere. Just go to a bank, lots of money, right? Go to like Wall Street, there's lots of money. The
Mhm.
problem is the money is not going through you. That's the only problem. So let the money flow through you. For money, it doesn't really matter if they pass by you or if they go through you. But it's a big difference. If 10 or $10,000 go through you or go pass by you, it's a big difference for you. So just come up with a system, just dig a little hole, and then the money kind of flows through you. But after you become a master, you don't even have to think because money comes through you and then go through you. Like a little fun, fine breeze.
Yeah, you've worked with so many people, and so
Hmm.
I'm curious. Are there questions that you ask people to help them kind of get clear on some of the limiting beliefs or the kind of mindset that doesn't serve them around money that they can, so that they're able to let go of that and allow money to kind of flow through them and come to them?
Yeah, there are many stages, but the ideal situation that you can go or be is that air situation, right?
Mhm.
Like if you don't think of money, if you don't talk about money, then you become a master because
Mhm.
you're really focusing on what's important in front of you. You're just focusing on helping people,
Mhm.
and then as a result you probably receive money, but you don't really care because all the bills are paid up in time, and then everything is taken care of perfectly. So you just focus on what you can do. So those are the situations. So if you don't think about money every day, now I think I'll give you the graduation certificate that now, welcome to the happy money world, that you don't have to worry about money anymore. So to do that, I think you have to have a system set up so you don't have to worry about money. because there will be enough positive cash flow. And then you can focus on what's the most important thing in your life. And but unfortunately, a lot of us don't know what's the most important in our life. That's why I got stuck in the boring job or the relationship that doesn't serve us anymore. So just just enjoy using your creativity to just figure out what do you want to do in your life. Your life is shorter than you think. You know, yesterday, my family and I, like three of us, my wife and my daughter, went to a park that we used to go 23 years ago. I spent like hours every day. That's where I got inspiration. And I can't believe it's been 23 years, since that time. And my daughter is 26, and then she's getting closer to my age at the time, right? Like, wow, like 30 years is so fast. So if you're watching this, if you're over 40, you'd agree with me. The time you feel faster when you're in your 50s, and it's twice as fast in your 60s. So time like flies in 2 seconds in your 70s. So just focus on what's most important in your life. I hope you can forget about money at some point at some point of your life. It's my sincere wish. Don't talk about money. Don't talk about investing. There's so much more important thing in life, and a lot of very smart people are hooked with money. So that's why they just they always think of investment. It's a one form of addiction. I said trance, but money making can be an addiction too. So if you are addicted to money making, just think about it. That's one form of addiction.
Yeah, yeah, it absolutely is. Like I said, most billionaires, like I think Elon Musk has said that most people wouldn't want to be him. He's $204 billion or whatever he has, but money really doesn't bring everything that a lot of people think that they're looking for. And that's something that I realized is no matter if you have too little money or too much money, you're going to have anxiety. It's just a different kind of anxiety. Because when
Yeah.
you have too much, you're going to be afraid of losing it, and when you have too little, you're going to be afraid of not making it. And so what do you find is like the good balance of being able to have, I guess, quote unquote, enough money, if that's even a thing?
Yeah, I think like the survival level, like
Yeah.
is that you can bring food on the table,
Hmm.
and you need the minimum clothes and water and nice air and the safety. I But unfortunately, it costs something. If you live in New York, I think $100,000 is not probably enough. And then if you're living in countryside and somewhere in Thailand, probably 20,000 would just buy that.
Yeah.
So you have to be selective of where you stay in the world too. So, and also what kind of lifestyle. If you want to go to party every night, it's going to cost you more. But if you are okay with eating organic salad and some vegetables and nice herb tea,
Hmm.
it doesn't cost you anything. So which lifestyle brings you more happiness? And if you need more than two houses, that costs you another thing. I really enjoy living in different houses. I have different studies. I have Western type of European type of furniture. I write differently than I
Hmm.
write in Japanese, traditional Japanese study that I have. So it's a luxury for me to have multiple houses, and but I want to be in the city to like attend parties and musical and stuff like that. In Tokyo, it's like New York. And
Yeah.
also I have another house up in the forest where I can think, and I can invite guests, and we can throw a party with 60 people. So for my lifestyle, I want to be busy in a Tokyo house, and also like hang out, relax, and socialize in the countryside, which cost more money than just having a modest house and then having a modest lifestyle. So it's up to you. What kind of life do you want? So I don't need a private jet, but I want to have a nice space so I can seat 60 people in my house, which requires some space, right? So it's up to you. What's your ideal life? So,
Yeah, I feel I guess I seen a statistic a few years ago. Probably it probably has changed by now, but and you've probably heard of it as well since you're so deep in the money space. Is that like $70,000 or so is
mhm,
the limit of past that? There's no more happiness that life can bring
right.
you things. Do you believe
hmm
that's true?
I think now you need like 100,000 or more, right? So, yes, to some extent, because it doesn't bring you more joy if you drive nicer cars. So just think about it. You drive very cheap cars, but it runs well. And then with the family, you can sing and you can enjoy a little trip. And even if you're driving a Rolls Royce, if you're alone and lonely, I think having a nice family in a cheaper car brings
Mhm,
you more happiness. So in that sense, I think like certain amount of money, uh, if you just make more than that, it's more of do you have a family? Do you have close friends? Do you have a very nice project that brings you joy? Those are very important. But if you want to do more, if you want to enjoy more, I think $70,000 is not really enough. I'm just going around the world, just exploring new things, and I'm being invited to many different places.
mhm,
And sometimes I get paid, sometimes I don't, uh, which is okay because I can finance myself.
mhm,
But if I'm making only $70,000, uh, that money doesn't buy my flight tickets. So if you want to do more and enjoy more, you need more. So you have to really know how much is enough. And also, if I just choose, I can probably spend. I need to spend only like $1,000 on monthly income, so expenses. So I'm not expensive guy. I'm easily satisfied. I don't need expensive brands. All I need is some veggies and rice and miso soup. That really satisfies me, nutrition wise. So it's up to you, but you'll be happier if you can adjust. I can I can live poor and I can live gorgeous. Either way, that brings a different kind of happiness. But you have to know how much is enough for you.
yeah, and that's a tough thing for a lot of people, as we've stated earlier. Is like we're always going to want more, right? So if we want to do more, we're going to have to make more, and most people want to do as much as they possibly can, it seems like. And so it's a really difficult thing. I'm in Hawaii right now, so $70,000 a year probably wouldn't be enough. So and I when I came here, I realized I never thought I would look forward to New York City pricing, because I live in upstate New York, not New York City. But
Okay.
I look forward to New York pricing now being here, and I never thought I would ever think of that, leaving. But Japan, funny enough, is the next place on the bucket list to go to that I really really admire. And that culture is much different than the US, because we see how much money you make as a correlation to your self-worth, but that's not so much where you're from. So why do you think it is so different? Obviously cultures play such a massive role, but why do you think that is?
So, you know, I have an American friend who was trying to tip this Japanese cleaner
Hmm.
in a hotel. And when he tried to give him a tip, he said no with dignity.
Yeah,
And he seemed a little even upset.
yeah.
So my friend asked me, like, why do you think he was upset? Because he had a pride. He was doing it uh, for the pride, not for the money.
Hmm.
So that's why by you trying to tip him, he felt offended. So Japanese people have this concept called ikigai,
Yes.
your life purpose.
Hmm.
So if you have ikigai, you don't need money. Is a very concept. So a lot of people think I'm clean with money because I'm a giver. I have given away 100,000 copies of free booklets before I became an author. So people know that I'm not doing this for money. So if people think that you're fair, if people think that you do it for other reasons, they respect you more. I think in North America, a little bit different. So if you're doing it for money, uh, as long as it's a fair trade, I think people respect you. So somehow, even though the money is made on a little bit of a shady deals, people still respect it, right? So like in school teachers in Japan, one of the most highly respected jobs, and also one of the highly paying job too. So if you say you're a school teacher, wow, thank you, people respect you. But I heard in America, if you say I'm teaching at a public school, like pathetic, like how are you a loser,
Yeah.
So it's different. So I think um, different cultures have different focus on things, and so I think public servants in America are not as respected as other countries.
Yeah. It's unfortunate because the people that are teaching are the ones that are leading the future, and they definitely don't get paid nearly enough to seemingly live if we're talking about $70,000 a year, right? If that's like the something, and that's not even it at this point, right? And something that I'm fascinated by is I'm 20 years old, but when you were 19, you went
Hmm.
in 1987. You went to just lived off American generosity. It seems like for about a year.
Right.
Like, what was that experience like? And please tell me like some of the things that you took away from that because that sounds amazing.
Yeah. So I was told by my mentor, and he said, do you want to do? Okay, so he said, do you want to go for steady job and security,
Hmm.
or do you want to go for a fun ride? And I said, definitely fun ride. And then he said, if you want to go on a fun ride, that means there's a risk that you become homeless. Like I
Hmm.
said, yeah, that's true. That's what I'm afraid. So he said, so why don't you experience a homeless life? Because that will be the bottom of your life. And if you're okay, you can just take full risk. I said, okay, how should I do? So let's go somewhere in the world, and then you depend on people's generosity. And if your personality is not good, nobody's going to like you, nobody's going to support you, and then you die on the street. So just to have a fun experience, just totally surrender yourself
Hmm.
to charity and the mercy of other people. And I thought, okay, I think I was 19 at the time. And then I studied on my journey. I studied from Boston. I ended up in Florida. And actually, I wrote a book on that and became a national bestseller. But so to make a story short, I spent 1 year totally dependent on people's generosity. I asked this person, and then just that person introduced my friend. He's a nice boy, so he's very good at cleaning, massaging. He'll do anything for you. He'll be fun. And then I was sent to this friend of his, and then another, and I spent entire year not spending any money. So that's another reason I'm not afraid of losing money, because I'm very good at being a nice house guest, ninja house guest. So, nobody feels that I'm intruding their privacy. So I have special skills, stealth guest. So that's why if I lose everything, I'll be sleeping on somebody's couch, no sound. So,
That's such an amazing thing. I've traveled a lot and I want to travel more and more. I haven't traveled too much, but I'm traveling more and more, making it a really big priority. And everywhere I go, I'm able to make friends with people. And I feel when I heard that, I thought that would be such a fun experiment. Like you said, a fun ride, a difficult one, but something that is also you learn so much about yourself. You learn so much about people. It's so powerful. And you, like you said earlier, you've sold 7 to 8 million copies of your books. You've impacted so many people. The one question that I love asking authors is that it usually seems as though authors don't get the most from the book that they read, but more so the one that they write. So, what book has taught you the most about yourself?
yeah. So in fact, I have it right here. This one came out 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is a novel, True Wealth.
Hmm.
Actually, a 20-year-old boy, is, a guy is the main character.
Hmm.
One day he receives a package from his grandfather, and then his grandfather is super wealthy, but he donated all the money before passing. And there's a letter from him. Hey, grandson, I'm sorry, I donated all the money, so you're not going to get any money from me. But instead, I left 9 letters. So there are 9 letters. Each letter has a title. The first one is synchronicity. The second one, intuition, decision. And he opens one by one. He was instructed to open the letters when you feel the right time came. So he goes on a journey. He starts from Tokyo, and then somewhere in Japan, and then he's brought to overseas to meet his grandfather's best friends. So through the letters, he learns the importance of life, by some certain subject. So money, work, failure, and I put this all the learnings from my mentors into this one book, so anybody can learn from a story. I love storytelling, so that's why I just put it in a story format. I think it's going to be a movie out of this. So I'm just working on this project, and I'm so happy that this book is out in Japanese, in English. It was out for 5 years ago in Japanese.
Do you think, knowing that the book is kind of positioned in a way that when you feel aligned, you should open it to X chapter, is there a letter that you feel most people need to hear right now in the state of the world that we're in?
Yeah. So I put the first letter, my favorite, synchronicity.
Yeah.
Synchronicity, decision, intuition, action, money are the orders. But synchronicity comes first because we pay so little attention to synchronicities, what's going on in life. So we tend to forget what's most important. And then we are so preoccupied with what's going on in life. So then we forget that why we're here, and then we just simply work to bring food on the table. So if that's how you work, you feel depressed because you cannot find ikigai or the life purpose, and then you lose energy every day. That's how we live. But there's more than that in life if you want to experience fun things. So synchronicities are something that try to help you. It's almost like a message for you that you just you can do this, you can do that. So in that letter, he said certain coincidences happen repeatedly. So if something happens twice, pay attention. If something happens 3 times, go for it. Like when you think of going to Japan, and then suddenly somebody just has a Facebook page that and shows up and like, I went to Japan, that was the most gorgeous experience, and then you bump into somebody who speaks Japanese, right? Like, okay, Japan 3 times, I'm going. So that kind of synchronicity happens every day. So if we paid more attention to those synchronicities, your life would be 100 times more exciting. So if you want to go for a fun ride, I'm sure if the people who are attracted to you, James, I think definitely the people, your tribe, your friends are going for a ride.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. I love the synchronicity. I love that perspective. It's so powerful. I mean, I was already thinking of going. So this conversation, that's a synchronicity, right? So like that's in itself is like, I'm on my way there. I definitely plan to go there when I'm done with Hawaii. But it is such a I love your work, and I think it's so powerful. I think so many people have such a negative, scarce relationship with money, and I think a lot of it just comes from misconceptions about around money. What do
Mhm.
you find is like what do you think most people misunderstand about money?
People think money can do wonders. Money is just a tool.
Mhm.
So it's like a knife. It could hurt yourself if you're not careful. But if you know how to use it, it's such a convenient tool. And then, with just chunk of money, I made a lot of people cry overjoy. It's not a huge amount, but that $1,000 or $10,000 I gave changed their life in many different ways. So money can transform people's lives, and also some people just kill for $1 or $10. So money can trigger your deepest emotions, both positive and negative. And unless you know what you have about what kind of emotions you have around money, you'll be driven by this fear, greed, uh, and so you by understanding what money is, money can be your best friend. So like money is my concierge almost. If I want, say I'm going around the world for the third time in July. I start from Helsinki. There is a worldwide ticket.
Hmm.
It costs about $3,000 if you're flying economy, about $10,000 if you're flying business. But you can just stop like 17 different places. But you have to go west or east, and I bought a ticket, so money can do it for me. If it's in within the United States, you can hitchhike, but you can't do that with plane, right?
Yeah.
So you need money to go around. So money can be your best friend. And I'm starting a new project that requires some money, and then money will just pave the way. And then I hire some people; they're working on it, so I will see it in very soon. So money can bring wonders to your life. So if you know that money not only brings you food on the table, it can do so many great things. Your dreams would come true if you had enough money. So learn how to use money energy in your favor, not against you.
Yeah, yeah. I have two more questions for you. I want to be thoughtful of your time. I think a lot of people have a lot of guilt and shame around money. And again,
Yes.
working with so many people, how have you helped people release the guilt, the shame that they surround or see money even as?
Yeah. So shame comes from uh, this feeling of unworthiness. I'm not worthy. So that's why I don't have the money,
Mhm.
to buy like sneakers when you're in school. I don't have the money to buy newest iPhones, so I feel shameful. So because you don't deserve certain things, that's why you feel shameful. So unless you come up with this ideas that it's nothing to do with your value, and it's just your parents are not making enough money. That's why they cannot buy you the phone. But that has nothing to do with your value. Then, okay, that's a reality, but my phone works. I'm fine. So if you can feel that, there's no shame. And guilt is something that you feel like you got it, but other people don't. So, and also you're the only one. So you feel bad that other people are not getting it. If, say, about the iPhone, I got the newest iPhone from my parents, and all my friends are having like the older ones. I feel guilty.
Mhm.
But in 2 weeks later, if all of your friends are getting the same iPhones, you don't feel guilty at all. So think about that. So somehow it came to me first. If you feel that, and then you feel less guilt. You know, so I became very wealthy very young, and then I felt guilty because think about it: in 8 years, you retire with your baby girl, and then all your friends are working, till they drop, and like I don't know, I was good with money, that's why I deserve it. I was trying to persuade myself, so I'm okay. But I felt so guilty. Like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I enjoying nice walk with my daughter. Everybody like my age has shorter hair and a suit, and they look so tired. And here I am with with my daughter, just singing together, just dancing together on the street. I feel guilty. But when I think like, oh, they can do that, they have a choice. They're not just doing it. So once I know they can do the same thing, then my guilt went away. So there are so many ways and techniques that you deal with emotions. And life without guilt, life without shame is so peaceful and fun. So that's why I'm just doing this. I don't get paid for this 90% of the time. I'm sort of like a pro bono. This activity
Yeah.
is act of my friendship and generosity, because I sincerely hope that you just be free from money sometime in your life before you hit 80s. You can be financially free at the age 70, at the age 60, at the age 50, at the age 40. So when do you want to be free financially is my question. And then what kind of things do you need to do to free yourself? And if you learn things right, do things right, you can be financially free in 5 years. So
It's amazing. It's amazing stuff, Ken. I'm so grateful for your time. The one question I love to ask, and I ask everyone at the end of each podcast, is what belief are you currently unlearning?
that's a good question, James. I'm
Thank
so proud of you. I feel like I'm just meeting my younger me, like 6 years ago. And you're more wise, and you're more together. And I respect you so much. And I'll give you my blessings. Whatever you do, you'll be successful. So, when you feel like I'm not there, just okay, this is taking time, but I'm on my right track. It's just, I want you to remember that.
you.
So right now, what I'm learning is, since I became 50, I started learning English again, and then I'm studying Chinese. So when you hit like your 50s and 60s, you feel like your brain is not functioning as much, and then you think your life is deteriorating, you're going down. But is that true? So that's what I'm learning. I'm learning. My English is much better than 5 years ago, and then I'm learning to speak Chinese more. So I'm so excited to prove that getting older, meaning getting like forgetful and other things. So I'm learning at this
I love
point.
it. I love it. I love it so much. Of course, the new book is out, and you have so many other books that are impacting so many people. All of your links, of course, will be in the show notes. But is there anywhere you'd like to direct people?
So you can find all the information at kenhonda.com. I'm going to bring Japanese and European, and I think some American will gather in Hawaii in November, for my Vision Quest.
Oh,
So
beautiful.
it'll be in Honolulu.
Okay.
But I'm so excited to teach, to share what I know. So I do a lot of things for free. So you can just find all the information. The thing we didn't touch is money personality. That's another fun subject. There's a money maker, money warrior, spender, indifferent, hippie, monk, that kind of thing. You can just figure out who you are by just answering the quiz. You know who you are. So you can enjoy all the information at kenhonda.com.